Economist and former Minister of Finance in Nigeria, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, appears set to become the next Director General of the World Trade Organization, with the Biden administration announcing its strong support for her candidacy. This came after South Korea's Trade Minister, Yoo Moo-hee, who was also a finalist for the role, announced a plan to withdraw herself from consideration, leaving the path open for Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Sequel to this announcement, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala would be the first woman and the first African national to lead the organization, with an African appointed as Director General of the World Trade Organization. It is believed that playing the role of an administrator would ensure that the interest of the continent is taken into account in the activities of the international trade. In Africa, where trade is often viewed as a driver for growth, it is believed that Africa may be a beneficiary, driving a path towards sustainable development and a tool for poverty eradication, particularly at a time when the COVID-19 pandemic is hitting the country real hard. Let's now discuss further prospects of the leadership of Africa's financing models and, of course, economic growth amid COVID-19. Well, I have joining me now from Abuja is a professor of accounting and finance from Now University of Nigeria, Professor Ofili Ugwadioha. Thank you very much for your time, Prof.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Prof, let me ask first, what do you really make of Okonjo-Iweala at the point of being announced, since the U.S. has now supported her in this drive? What do you make spectacularly, being an African and for the first time heading the World Trade Organization?
Well, first of all, I would like to thank you for having me here. And on the issue under focus, the appointment of Dr. Okonjo-Iweala as the Director General of the World Trade Organization, it is a boost to African continent, it is a boost to Nigerian economy, and it is a boost also to the world, because for Nigeria to have such a person in the international arena, it will bring a lot of good tidings to Nigeria. Remember that she is a development economist. She was a former Minister of Finance in Federal Republic of Nigeria, and she was also a coordinating minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. She worked in the World Bank, and she also had some experience working with IMF. You can remember that she contested also for the position of World Bank presidency. That shows you the type of person who is coming on board. I'm quite sure the world will be happy having such a person. I'm quite sure the Africa continent will be happy having such a person. And in particular, Nigerian country, as a nation, everybody in Nigeria is happy to have her in that place. I would like also to say thank you to the federal government of Nigeria, particularly Muhammad Buhari, for backing her up at this journey. Even though some hurdles which you have had from the United States, which I don't know where it is coming from, because these people always pretend to be the friends of Nigeria, but in the end, they hit us at the back all the time. They hit us at the back when she was contesting for the presidency of the World Bank. They hit us at the back when Adesina was contesting for the president of African Development Bank, when he was coming back for the second time. And of course, they hit us at the back on Ngozi's bid into this position. But as God may have it, the main contender decided to withdraw, maybe as a result of international pressure, because everybody knows that they are not equal. Yes, it is true that the woman from South Korea was also highly positioned and experienced. But out of the two, one is better. And the world is not sleeping at the level of, exposure of these two people. So as a development economist, she has worked in different countries. She has worked in different economic fora. She has worked in different economic segments of the world. She has had it at the highest level. And this one is not just trading. It is economic coordination of the entire world business activities. It is one of the best things that has happened to Nigeria. One of the best things that has happened to Womanfold, and one of the best things that has happened to African continent. So I believe that she will give in the best, because we saw what she did when she was a finance minister. She was able to get Nigerian debt written off.
Now, Prof, sounds very interesting. We need to take a break for a commercial. We'll be back shortly. And of course, this discussion will continue. I really like where you're taking it up from. Give us a minute and we'll be back. Let's take a break. Your Business Nigeria will return and this discussion continues.
It's time for Eyigbeti, the private sector-led Lagos Economic Summit. This year's edition is a virtual event for business leaders, academics, techies, and entrepreneurs to set an implementable agenda for a greater Lagos. From the 16th to 18th of February 2021, participants from all over the world will converge to discuss transformational initiatives that will advance the development of Lagos State at the Eyigbeti Online Summit. At the forefront of this summit is the private sector, leading discussions that will provide government with a roadmap for Lagos till 2050. For more than 20 years, Eyigbeti has contributed significantly to infrastructural and policy development in Lagos State. Join the conversation today. Contribute your quota. Register for the conference at www.eyigbetissummit.com. Let's come together for a greater Lagos. Eyigbeti is hosted by the Lagos Economic Summit Group and powered by Stanbic IBTC Pensions, STB Building Society, United Bank for Africa, Providus Bank, Vetiva Capital Management, Leadway Assurance, Premium Pension, Trust Fund Pension, and Ford Foundation.
All right, thank you very much for staying with us. Professor Philly is still with us, live from our Abuja studios. Now, Prof, I'm looking at the support we now got from the United States. A lot of people have talked about the foreign policy speech by President Joe Biden, harping on returning the U.S. To multilateralism and, of course, cooperation with its allies. Now, do you see a better relationship between Nigeria and even the United States at this time? I was just thinking about that.
Yeah. From what Biden has said on his inaugural speech, and also his repeated speeches and statements during his campaign, he is bent on rebuilding American relationship with the entire world. There have been a crack in the world between America and so many countries. And it affects also their economy. Because the economy is not just your country. You are a producing nation. You are an economic, one of the best in the world anyway. But you need other people to be able to excel. You need other people to be able to dispose those things you have better than others, because you cannot consume them all. You need other people to also be able to relate with, to have synergy in making the world move forward. Yes, I sincerely believe that Biden has come actually to survey the international image of America. And you can see what has happened now, that if Trump has been here now, Ngozi would have lost this position. But because Trump lost the election, and this man said, no, what my predecessor did may not help America internationally, particularly as a nation that is struggling on how to actually become what they were in the past, become the leader of the world, particularly as regards economy, as regards industrialization, and as regards disposal of your product, which gives you your economy. So I think what he's doing now is rebuilding the international image, which will also rebuild American international business, and we also subsequently or consequently rebuild the American economy. The economy of a nation is piloted by so many indices and so many stakeholders. If you produce your good, you cannot sell it. It is of no use producing it. If you only produce what you can consume, your GDP will drop. And if you only produce what you can consume, you will not be able to generate income. So all these things will turn around the American economy and their relationship with people.
Prof, let me follow up by saying that many are concerned about the effects of COVID-19 and what will happen as we move on. According to research, the former head of the WTO left office even before time because of the pressure and all that has happened with regards to the World Trade Organization. Now, do you see us synchronizing all of this together? We have the AFCFTA on one side, then we are now having an African, or Nigerian in particular, at the helms of affairs, also at the WTO. How do you see all of this working side by side for Africa's most populous nation, and of course, the continent?
No, please, can you come again with it?
Okay, Prof, I was talking about, at the moment, we are also into the African Continental Free Trade Agreement. And having a Nigerian also at the head of WTO, how do you see all of this affecting trade across the continent? Okay, Prof, did you get my question? Prof, okay, I think we'll try to reconnect audio with Prof there. Getting really interesting talking about the WTO and what we should expect at this time. Prof, okay, now, Prof, I was talking about the opportunities we see talking about the AFCFTA and at the same time having Okonjo-Iweala as the head of the WTO. What are the positives for us with regards to trade relations?
No, I still want you to come again with this question because it's cutting off here.
Okay. Can you hear me clearly now, Prof?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay, then. I was talking about the AFCFTA, African Continental Free Trade Area, and at the same time having Okonjo-Iweala as the head of WTO. What are the positives for Africa?
Yeah, thank you very much. I said earlier that our coming on board is a positive trend for Nigeria, a positive trend for Africa, and of course, a positive trend for the entire world, because she is like a round peg in a round hole. Then, African International Trade Agreement is a part of the World Trade Arrangement. Her coming on board will help Africa to be able to harness its own potentials in the world arena. It also helped African nations to streamline their policies and actions towards the global best practices. It will make Africa a focus of the world if they would be able to abide by useful advice that may be coming from World Trade Organization. I know her pedigree, I know also her potentials, as well as her experience and knowledge. With all this put together, is a person who doesn't work alone. He will co-opt so many people within the African continent to look at which area that Africa will benefit more. Because the whole essence of this is to boost the economy of a nation, or to boost the economy of a region, or also to boost the economy of the world. Because you cannot boast of having or generating employment if there are no economic activities. You can boast of also having your GDP growth without economic activities. Some of these things are part of the advisory part of her job that she has to offer to African countries, and in particular, with particular reference to Nigeria. Because Nigeria seems at a crossroad, particularly at the international business. This is a country that is so much endowed with everything on earth. If you look into your house, you will see that almost 80 to 90% of everything in your house can be produced in Nigeria. All those raw materials for production of almost 80% of everything in your house are found in Nigeria. If you look at your car, almost 80 to 90% of everything used in producing your car are found in Nigeria. But you cannot harness any of these things. And as such, we go out importing. So if our nation and other parts of Africa will be able to take the advisory role of World Trade Organization, it will benefit us immensely. But if we don't take the advisory role that will be played by this, it will be a problem. Because Nigeria is like a man who wants to go to heaven, but the man doesn't want to die. So how you go to heaven if you don't die? How can you grow your economy if you just go to the ground and dig oil, crude oil, and export it abroad? Other people will now come and refine those things, refine it and bring it back to you, and use the byproduct of that oil to produce all the plastic product that we use in the country, to produce their raw material, and to produce almost 30% of your car, almost 30% of your household, and so many things, including the shoes you wear and slippers you wear. And these are things from your country, and you cannot produce anyone. Even when we have our countries, our firms assembling or producing plastic, we still import the material from abroad. We still import it. We don't produce here because all the petrochemicals are dead. So when you say plastic industry producing, all the raw materials they use come from abroad, from China, from different parts of the world. So I think Ngozi should do a job in the country by assisting Nigerian government to look into productivity, that we generate economic activities. Because if there's no production, there's no economy. We cannot continue living on politics as our economic activities. Politics is not economic activity. It is a different ballgame. Okay. And we have to be like other parts of the world. United States do not have natural endowment like Nigeria. China, that is the second in the world, does not have natural endowment like Nigeria. I will give one country as an example. A country like Italy is among the industrial nations. I think it's around the 5th or 7th in the world. But they don't have anything. They have nothing.
Well, really touching.
But they bring different things from different places. The one they can get from their country, they do it. The one they can bring from other parts, they get it. And they become industrial nation. And we have everything here, but we cannot assemble them. Because there are human beings who can do this in Nigeria, but we don't want to engage them. So that's the problem.
Oh.
And I believe somebody like her, with her advisory role, not only in Nigeria, but with some other African countries, we shall be able to turn the economy around. And of course, it's only when there are economic activities that we talk about trading activities and business activities.
All right, it's a good way to leave it there, Professor Philly Ugudeoha. I thank you so much for your time, and we hope to have you again on the show. We hope you'll be here to join us. Thank you so much for sharing your expertise with us on this very important topic this Monday. Thank you for your time again.